I want to remind you about the August tutorial. I am part of the Demo Design Dream Team, and there are 16 of us demonstrators. And as you can see here, there are 16 squares. And so there is a project idea and a project tutorial for each square. And my card is all the way down here at the bottom. And when you place the $35 order in my online store, I email you the tutorial. And it's tons and tons of, the 16 projects. You've got supply list. You have detailed instruction on how to put the items together. I believe these are all cards. And this has a summer theme, okay? So, and if you have placed a $35 order with me and you don't remember seeing this, will you email me and remind me, okay? I try and get those out, but it could certainly slip by. Hi, Brenda, welcome. Hey, Peggy, welcome, great. All right, so just so you know about this ends Monday, August 31st, okay? And then September 1, there's going to be a brand new tutorial coming out, okay? And it will feature projects from the 2020 August to December mini, all right? Now, of course, when you do shop with me, you can earn a B, and for each $35 in product purchased, you earn a B. And then when you have 10 Bs, you receive 35 in free product. Now, I do all the record keeping for you. And at the end of the month, if you have 10 Bs, then I usually email you and I let you know that it's time to redeem your coupon, or you can wait until another month. And it just carries over and it never expires. Hi, Mary Kay. Okay, so we've gotten through that. And I want to touch base for a few minutes on the heartwarming suite. Now, of course, many of you know me pretty well, and you know I love coffee and I love tea. And as a matter of fact, we are renovating our kitchen right now. And I think I've been without a kitchen now for 2 weeks. And so my stamp room is quickly becoming the kitchen because I have a sink in the stamp room. But anyway, love coffee and tea, and I bring up the kitchen because we're going to have a coffee bar in our new kitchen. So, hi Terry, welcome. So when I opened the mini and I saw this heartwarming hug suite, I knew that I had to have the entire thing, just all of it, because I just love stuff like this. And so I did get my mini coffee carriers out, and I started playing around with them and embellishing them, and I've come up with a coffee carrier class, okay? And that's what I'm going to chat with you about. Hi Tracy, welcome. You know, I zoomed in so you could see the coffee carrier there, but I'm going to have to zoom out to show you some sneak peeks of what's in this class, okay? So with the mini coffee carriers, you get 8 of those carriers. And so part of the class, you'll receive 1 package of the mini coffee carriers. Now the class includes instructions for 6 embellished coffee carriers. So you're going to have 2 carriers that you can create any way you want, or you can duplicate the 6 coffee carriers that I've created. They're very duplicatable, okay? So I'm going to give you a sneak peek. Registration is actually open now, but I haven't advertised it as a Facebook event or on my blog yet. I'm ironing out the details and I'm doing a little bit of marketing right now with my graphics. So I'm working on that end of it. But first of all, you get a package of the coffee carriers, and now you're gonna get a sneak peek of what some of these look like, okay? Actually, you're gonna see all of them. All right, So this is one of my coffee carriers. Today's plan, consume coffee. Now the carriers will not include the contents, okay? But I'll give you suggestions on what you can put in the carrier. You're going to receive the Halloween carrier, which we did just a couple of weeks ago. So you'll get all the materials to embellish this box. It does include ribbon, ladies. It includes embellishments. It just does not include the contents, okay? All right, I'm trying to find a place to put everything. Okay, so you get two of the Halloween ones. Now, let me go back. This paper right here is from the Halloween packaging, okay? It's from the Halloween designer paper. I just flipped it over and used the flowers on it, okay? So you're gonna have two Halloween carriers, that's what we'll call it. Class will include two fall carriers, okay? Here's one of them. Here is the other fall carrier, all right? So I'm just giving you a sneak peek. You've got to sign up for the class. And then I have two Christmas. And so this carrier right here actually came from the mini catalog. So I can show you this one in detail. So you're gonna get two Christmas ones as well. This is one of them. Everything's pre-cut, okay? And scored for you, all that good stuff. Everything's die cut it. This is the other Christmas one that I designed with the little wraps around. And you'll even get the wraps and they'll be cut for you. All right, so that's that one right there, okay? So, there we go. All right. So what do you think? That's 6 carriers, but you'll actually get a package of 8, okay? Now, I'm gonna tell you what the class includes and what it doesn't include, okay? It does not include mini coffee cups. And the reason for that is they're hard to ship and it makes shipping more expensive. Now, if you're taking the class and you want to add the cups, we can add the cups to the class, okay? And so those details are forthcoming, all right? But they can be added to your class kit. So you're going to receive, and look, here are all my notes today to make sure that I get everything here. You're going to receive 1/4 package of this designer paper, okay? Thank you, ladies. Hi, Pam. Thank you, Suzanne. Thanks, Gail. I'm glad to hear the positive comments. They were really fun to create. So I'll sign you up, Nancy. I tell you what, ladies, if you want to sign up, okay, email me or message me on Facebook. I've noticed when you all comment in the comment section like you're doing now, I'll go back through my comments after the broadcast, and Facebook will only put the most, what do they call it? The most, I don't know. They get rid of some of the comments is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, so don't put it, you can tell me in the comments you want to come, and that's awesome, but message or email so that I sign you up, okay? All right, 1/4 package of Christmas paper. 1 package of the carriers. You're going to get 1 yard of Mossy Meadow ribbon, 1 yard of braided linen ribbon, and 1 glittery star, okay? All right, now we're gonna do our 2 Halloween ones, okay? You're going to get 1/4 of a package of designer paper. Thank you, Terry. Facebook will only keep the most relevant comments. Thank you. I could not think of that. I could see it in my head, but I just couldn't think of what the writing was. Okay, so 1/4 of a package, all right? Iridescent pearls, I think you get 3 or 4, and you get your mesh ribbon, okay? 1 yard, okay? All right. And then the last one, a quarter package of this paper Gilded Autumn. By the way, this is our suite that we're doing next Wednesday night, okay? Okay, so quarter of a package. You're gonna get 2 acorns, 1 yard of each of these ribbons, all right? Oh, and by the way, you're also getting a yard. Let me find that other ribbon. I always lose, oh, you know what? It's back here. 1 yard of this ribbon right here. Okay, so I think I've told you everything as far as contents. You're going to also get a cup template, okay? And that means the template, you will trace that on designer paper and cut it out. And then you can wrap your cups, okay? So you're gonna get a cup template, okay? And you're going to get the package of coffee carriers, and I'm gonna give you a free cocoa mix recipe, okay? So it's got a lot of goodies. The class fee is $28.50, and you have the option of adding the cups for $8.75. Now, if I am shipping the materials to you, it'll ship priority mail. It takes 2 to 3 days to get to you, and it averages about between $7 and $9, depending on where I'm shipping, okay? All right, so registration is now open through September 8th, okay? And then I will place the order, and I'm still ironing out the dates as to when the class will be. It'll be towards the end of September because I have to order supplies and then I have to cut, okay? So the class will take place towards the end of September, but I'll iron out those dates in the next few days and get that information out to you. But it should be a ton of fun. I had so much fun making these coffee carriers, and I'm just really anxious to share that with you, all right? So I wanted you to know about that. And remember, you're gonna get a free cocoa mix recipe. It's homemade cocoa recipe, and the cup template. Those are 2 of the bonuses that you'll get in the class, all right? So I'm just checking comments just to see if anyone had any questions regarding the class. Yes, it will be online, Carol, yes. Definitely. Definitely online class, okay? All right, and yeah, everything's pre-cut. All the dies, the shapes, they're die cut for you. I will tell you the 2 stamp sets that I used, and this is not included in your kit. I actually used this stamp set. I actually used this bundle a lot, okay? Warm Hugs Bundle. I use this a lot. And I also use this one for some of it. And then in our annual book, there is a stamp set and a bundle called Nothing But. Let me look it up because I used this one too and I loved it. Hang on. Let me find it for you. Nothing Better Than, and it's on 91. And this goes so well with the coffee carriers. It's right here. It's the stamp set with the dies. All right, and it has the coordinating dies that go with it. But I'll list that in the class as well. Hey, Martha, I'm glad you're watching. The class is open to anyone. If you're a demonstrator, yes, you can take the class. Absolutely. Yeah, so it's open to anyone. And once I teach you how to wrap one carrier, you're going to know how to wrap them all. And then I'll show you all the different tags that were created, and we'll embellish the boxes with that. And I'll give you a list of stamp sets and dies that I used, okay? All right, Laura is online tonight. Good, Laura. Thank you, Jim. All right, well, we're ready to get started with our shaker card tonight. All right. And so this again is part of the same suite that we've been creating with. And it's called Hallows Night Magic. That's the stamp set, okay? And you can see there's a window sheet in my card, and so it shows my lighting and my camera in the window. Okay, so here's Hallows Night Magic. All right, so we're using this, and then we're going to use the coordinating dies this evening. And let's see. And then, of course, we're going to be using the designer paper. Now, if you like this designer paper reference tool right here, you can find it on my blog. It's already there, and it's right under last Friday's blog post, right under the Facebook Live replay video. All right, so the reference cards are there. So this is all the awesome paper in the Magic in the Night. And here, these are the papers I use to do the other coffee carrier. So I found a great use for these floral images other than Halloween. So it's an awesome designer paper package. It really is. And then of course you see the coordinating colors here. Okay, well, let's get started. And we're going to do a bit of stamping first, and then we'll cut things out, and I'll show you how to assemble this shaker card. Now when you open it up, it's blank on the inside, but tonight we're going to put something inside, okay? And then I use some silver glitter that has retired, but there are some new sequins in the mini that we're going to use tonight, okay? And I think it's going to look really fun with that. All right, so let me get, oh, let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh, I put most of my supplies in the envelope tonight. So I'm going to start with this, okay? And this is Smoky Slate. And then I'm going to bring out Tasteful Labels. And we're going to use this for cutting out the words, okay? So let's do that first. The stamp is from the Hallows Night Magic stamp set. And I'm just going to ink that up really well and just stamp it on my scrap paper. All right, so that piece is done. And then I'm going to bring in my bats and a piece of Whisper White, okay? And this is a pretty large stamp, and we used it last week, so you may remember that the easiest way I find to ink it up is upside down, because the block is a whole lot bigger than the ink pad. All right? And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to stamp that right in the center. This is just scrap paper, okay? Isn't that beautiful? I just love the intricate detail on the bat. All right, so those are the things that we needed to stamp for the outside. And I'm going to go ahead and pull some dies out. We're going to need the large one here. And then we'll need the bats. And you may notice there are some black glitter bats inside of this shaker card. And so I've already cut a bunch of bats out. So we're good on bats, okay? All right, so just a few things for us to cut. I'm going to zoom all the way out because I'm going to bring in our new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, that's a lot to remember. Okay, so here is our little beauty here. And by the way, this is available next Tuesday, September 1, all right? And it'll be in my online store, or you can certainly email me to order yours. Also, the magnetic platform will be available. So you know what I'm doing next Tuesday morning? I'm ordering my magnetic platform because I couldn't pre-order that. And so that's going to be really helpful with the dies. It'll keep them in place. All right, so we are cutting a die. We're cutting dies tonight, just dies, no embossing folders. So this is going to be our sandwich. So number 1 is the platform, then number 2, then a number 3 plate, the paper, the die, and a number 3 plate. Okay, so here's number 1, and here's 2, and here is 3. Okay, so that's all lined up, ready to go. Now, because I don't have my magnetic plate yet, I have to be a bit careful so that I keep everything in place. All right, and I think that is straight. I'm going to try and get the bats on here while we're doing it. I am sitting down, so sometimes it can be kind of hard to see if it's straight or not. So here are the bats right here. Trying to line these up. Okay. So I think that's pretty good. And then I'm going to add number 3 plate again. And then I'm going to roll it through. All right. And of course, I am on a folding table and it shakes like crazy when I roll anything through the machine. All right, so that's done. And now we've got our bats. Here's the die there. And these are our pretty bats, okay? Now we're gonna do one more thing while we're here, all right? Let's see. We're going to take this piece of designer paper, okay? See the flowers on that side? Okay, so we're gonna take this side and I'm gonna take the largest shape. Remember, there are 2 of these and this is the larger one. Hi, Laura, glad you're here. And I'm just gonna center this because we're gonna make a hole in this for the shaker card. All right, and then I need number 3 cutting pad again. All right, and then this will roll through. I'll hang on to the top and maybe the table will not shake as much. But this is pretty quiet machine and it's very smooth. All right, so here's the die and then here is the shape that we've cut out. And this very shape is used in the coffee carriers. All right, and then of course we have this piece which we're gonna need. So I'm gonna move my platforms and then I can close up my machine. And now we're ready to create. All right, and I think we've cut out everything. Okay, so we're gonna start. We've got a Blackberry Bliss card base tonight, okay? All right, and the first thing we wanna do is we're going to take this piece right here. This is gonna be the front. So we're gonna flip it over. And let's see if I can find my window sheet. We're gonna use this window sheet here, all right? And it's measuring 4 by 5 1/4, but you could certainly make it smaller if you want to, but it's gonna fit the back of this perfectly. And I'm actually going to use glue dots with this because it'll be quick and I know it's gonna stay. So I'm gonna put one in each corner. And I think I'll even put one right there, all right? I know that's hard for you to see because you can see right through it. All right, and so now I'm gonna take this, and it loves to stick to it. All right, Okay. All right. So here now we've got the front and we put the window sheet on the back. All right. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some of these foam strips. All right. And we do carry these, and they are in the annual book. All right. It's in our annual catalog. Now I want to get pretty close to the edge, and I'll go ahead and zoom in. Hello, Carol, welcome. So I want to get pretty close to that edge, but I don't want to go over the edge because then you'll see the foam through the front, okay? All right, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll put one right up here like this. And I had cut these in half. When you purchase these, they're long, and I'll show you what they look like. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that right up against there. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can, this is working pretty good. All right, I'm going to cut this though. Whoops. All right. And let's see, I'm going to make it a little bit shorter. Okay, so what I'm doing is I am allowing this foam, the foam strips, to go all the way around. But when I flip it over, I don't want to see those foam strips, okay? Now, when you purchase them, they come like this. They're long, okay? And you can cut them any length that you want them to be, all right? All righty. So now we're going to do this side. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this. And put that right up against there. Okay? So now I have created this frame, all right, and this sequence will go in the middle part, okay? All right, and the foam strips are found in the annual catalog. I'm going to zoom out just a bit. Now, I have another piece of paper here, and this one I actually want to just center on this card base. And I'm going to show you what this is going to look like. On the original, I used basic gray paper for the background. So that's basic gray cardstock. And tonight, I'm going to try designer paper in the background instead. All right, and we'll see if we like it. It's just a hunch. I haven't tried this. Not sure how it's going to turn out, but we'll give it a try. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal. And then I'm just going to add this to the center. All right. And then I just want to be sure that when I put this over it, it's going to cover it up. And it is. And that's probably hard for you to see with lighting, but that's what the background's going to be. All right. All right, now guess what? We're ready to add sequins. All right. So in your mini, let me see if I can find the page for you. They're going to be towards the back. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go back to the index. I'm going to look under embellishments and find sequins. And it's page 66 right here. And these are called sequins for everything. And they're faceted circles, flat circles, and hexagons. And they're in 4 colors. So they're green, metallic, orange, and red. So those are the colors they come in, and it's page 66. All right. I'm just going to grab a sip of water. So here are the sequins right here. Now, I've never opened this before, so this is going to be interesting because when you open it, it's wide open, okay? And probably what I will end up doing is I will take an embellishment container and pour each color in a different one, or I may use a small Ziploc bag to do that, okay? But let's go ahead. I actually do want to use some of this, it looks like Bumblebee, okay, this color. So I'm gonna add a few of those sequins there. Now I'm not using the glitter like I did in the original card. And you know what? This stuff loves to stick to me. I had no idea. And now I'm gonna add some of these. They're all different little shapes. Let's add some more. Now what I'm doing is I'm gonna keep this in the center of the card, okay? I'll go ahead and add a little more yellow. All right, and I think that's gonna be enough. I'm probably gonna use my Take Your Pick tool. Lots of static. I'm gonna move these out of the way before I spill them. And I'm gonna try and get these off my fingers. Okay, so yeah, it's got little hexagon shapes too. Super cute. Super cute and perfect for shaker cards. Okay, now the other thing that I do want to add are some black glitter bats. Now these bats are from one of the dies in the Halloween set, all right? So I'm adding these cute little bats as part of the confetti. And I think when you use the die, it cuts out 3 bats. I think I'm gonna use 6 bats. And I wanna make sure that my bats are turned so that the glitter is facing me, all right? So let me show you. That die will cut out all 3 of these bats at one time. And that's from the Halloween Magic Dies, which is the coordinating die set for the stamp set we're using tonight, okay? So now I've got my black glitter bats and I've got my sequins. And so I am now ready to peel off my foam strips. And I was just being sure that everything was sticking well and that I don't have any holes in the seams, okay? Hey, Karen from Australia. It is so cool that you're watching tonight. Whoops. All right. Now this is where I really have to concentrate and not mess this thing up. And you know, that came off again, which is telling me that it's just not enough adhesive. So let's add a little more. Hang tight here. Okay. I'm trying to stay away from the glitter, the sequins, because anything I touch with it just picks it up. Okay, so I've added a new piece of foam there. That peeled up a couple of times, so that would not be very good. Okay. The other key thing to watch with your outline of foam strips, you want it pretty close to the window, okay? You don't want to put your foam strips way out here because then your sequins are going to move out this far and you'll never see them, okay? So you want to be sure that you've got your sequins pretty much in view all the time, if that makes sense. Karen, I'm glad you liked the card. Thank you so much. All right, I'm just kind of moving those sequins back in. Now, once those sequins hit this window sheet, it is gonna be static electricity like crazy. Okay, are we ready? So now what we're gonna do is we're going to center this piece onto the card base. And so the designer paper is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, on a standard card base. Now, I'm pushing this down because I want to make sure it really sticks, okay? And then I'll shake it a little bit and you can see what the inside looks like. So see, when it goes down, it just hits that foam strip that's right under the paper. And so you can shake it, and you've got all your cute little bats in there and your sequins. Now remember that designer paper that we put in the background? Let's go back and look at the original. This is the original with basic gray cardstock in the background. And I think I like the designer paper better. Martha, I am missing you ladies too. I'm missing you a lot, and I wish I was there to stamp with you. Thanks everybody. Thank you, Martha and Liz and Debbie and everybody who's getting together. All right, so there's that. Now we want to add some ribbon, and this ribbon here is still current. It's in the annual book, and it's called Glittered Organy Ribbon, all right? And it's stiff, but it's got glitter in it, and it's black. And so it is just an absolutely awesome ribbon to use for Halloween. So let me grab a glue dot. Here they are. And I'm going to put that glue dot about right there. It's not really on the end, and I'll show you why I'm doing that. The words are going to cover up that glue dot, okay? Now I'm going to go on over here. I am going to add a glue dot, and I could have wrapped the ribbon completely around the designer paper, but I think this will work fine. Okay. So there's the ribbon. I know the sequins are awesome, and they're chunky, and they're different sizes and different colors. So, oh, Carol likes the gray background better. That is interesting. All right, so ladies, everybody has to tell me, did you like the basic gray or do you like the designer paper? I'm trying to pick up a die over here that fell on my table. All right. Okay. So now we're going to finish off the card with our words. So as soon as I find them, I've kind of lost everything here. Let's see. Oh, there are the words right there. Okay. And we're going to pop these up right along here. Oh, thank you, Nancy. I'm so glad. Thank you. And you know, Nancy, I don't make shaker cards that often. So sometimes I have to remind myself, okay, how did I make that? Like, how do I do that? So, oh, hi, Joyce. Oh, so yes, ladies, even though I'm showing you how to make a shaker card, I always need a good little review myself. All right. So I'm going to add my words there, and then we're going to add these cute little bats. And I'm going to use a glue dot. And I'm going to put that one right there. And I'll just kind of bend his wings a little bit. And then I'm going to kind of fold this in. Hi, Sandy. Hello, hello. I know the designer paper's awesome, Sandy. It's called Magic in the Night designer paper, if you don't have it yet. All right. Hi, Sonia. How are you? All right. And then we're going to add this bat. Now, if you want your bat flatter, you certainly don't have to bend the wings, okay? All right, and of course, if it's going in an envelope, then you know they're going to have to flatten out. All right, so that right there, my friends, is the outside of our Magic in the Night card, okay? So I'm going to hold it up for you to see really well. I love those chunky sequins. All right, now let's embellish the inside. This is something that we don't necessarily get to do all the time, and so we're going to give that a try tonight. I'm going to use Pretty Peacock. Oh, and remind me, I have some iridescent pearls for the outside of that. Don't let me forget. And we're going to use Happy Halloween, because Pretty Peacock is one of the coordinating colors for this set. I'll just put Happy Halloween there. And notice how I stamped before I add the designer paper. And I did that on purpose. If I put the designer paper on and I stamp and it's crooked, well, then I kind of have to leave it. But if I stamp first and it's crooked, I can flip it over and stamp and then add designer paper, okay? I'm so glad you all like the card. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna add some seal right along that strip, and I'm going to use this flower side because it's got Cajun Craze in it, Blackberry Bliss, and Pretty Peacock. Okay, so the inside, the Whisper White piece is measuring 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and then I'm just going to center it right in here. Just like that. All right. Oh, wow. Thank you, Carol. I'm so glad you ladies like this card. Now, remember I have this piece that I cut out. I'll save this for another card, or I can fold it and it can be a tag. All right. So I always hang on to these little die cut pieces. Now, to finish off this envelope, we're going to take this designer paper one more time. And we are going to add some seal right along the envelope flap. And if you want, I'll measure the designer paper. Let me measure this for you. And this is just a rough measurement. I've got 6 inches going across by 2.5 inches. And it's too big for the flap. All right, so this is the outside. And what I do is I just add that strip right to the back of that envelope flap. Okay, so just like that. And I'll just press that down. And then I'll take my paper snips. And I'm just gonna cut along the flap. Right along here. All right. And so now I have a beautiful flap to go with my cute Halloween card. What do you think? Now that's all I have planned for you ladies this evening.